too easy.
God bless you.
Start over. This is okay.
I want my daughter to be safe.
I want my daughter to be true to herself.
I want my daughter to graduate from high school, college.
I want my daughter to be happy.
I want my daughter to be loved for who she is.
I want my daughter to feel empowered to change the world around her.
I'm Rachel Green-Sharp.
Brian Ellis.
Joy Clark.
Ashley Baker. Jessica Glenn.
I am Phil Kang, and we are Ignite Charter School. Our hopes for our daughters are the same as many parents' hopes for their daughters. However, for the families in Gary, Indiana, this has become much tougher to accomplish.
At its height in the 1960s, Gary was projected to have a population of over 700,000 by 2010. However, the collapse of the steel industry in northwest Indiana shortly thereafter left thousands without jobs and decimated the city's population.
One group was particularly affected: girls. Women and girls make up over half of Gary's population, yet the median income for women in Gary is just above $15,000 per year, lower than the state and national average, and lower than their male counterparts in the very same city. Yet we believe that young women of Gary have the power to disrupt this narrative and refuse to let statistics define their future. According to 2014 Goldman Sachs report, female education is a key source of support for gender equality and long-term economic growth.
Ignite Charter School, a 9th through 12th grade high school in Gary, Indiana, will work to achieve these goals. Research shows that graduates who graduate from single-sex schools have higher academic outcomes, higher levels of leadership in school, lower sex role stereotyping, and higher rates of graduate degrees in historically male-dominated STEM fields. Ignite's unique single-gender environment supports the development of young women who shape their world through engagement, reflection, and ownership. Ignite students will engage in individual and collective action designed to identify and address issues of concern. They will consider where they've been in order to define their past, present, and future worlds. And they will take responsibility for their actions and goals in an individual and collective context. This journey begins with self and extends outward as students explore the multiple worlds in which they live.
In order to shape our world, community, and school, we first need to know ourselves. Ignite's advisory program is a core component of our school's culture. The program runs on a 4-day alternating schedule, which begins with self-awareness. Daily mindfulness practice in morning meeting is augmented by a self-awareness curriculum that guides our young women to be self-reflective and to narrate their own stories. UC Davis recently published a study showing that mindfulness training in schools increases self-regulation, self-care, and empathy. These characteristics are linked with long-term happiness and health. During Tuesday's advisory time, the girls will set and monitor their academic and personal goals with the help of their critical friends in their advisory group. Families will also be included in these growing processes, as the girls will communicate their goals and any supports that they may need at home during their student life conferences, which will take place each trimester. In order to build a schema of positivity around strong women, Thursday's advisory will be centered on women's studies. We will examine case studies of powerful women and use their stories to examine and critique societal norms of gender, race, class, sexuality, and other social inequalities. On Fridays, our girls will facilitate grade-level town hall meetings. This will be a time for them to shape their school community by addressing issues of communal concern and celebrating their talents. With this strong foundation for developing the self, our girls will be well equipped to engage in our transformational academic program.
We believe at Ignite that learning is not a passive process. Instead, we believe that young women deserve engaging experiences that develop the skills and knowledge needed to take ownership over their learning. Our curriculum is designed to provide authentic experiences in each discipline that do just that. We believe that the best way to provide engagement and ownership in science and math is through an inquiry-based approach. Our core classes combine English and social studies. This provides more time to students to develop evidence-based arguments, as well as to examine narratives through a historical context. Latin, our language offering, serves as a foundational language from which our students can study any Romance language. In addition to supporting cross-content vocabulary acquisition, our girls will be translating stories of leadership and journey. For example, translating the Aeneid by Virgil, our girls will examine journeys and will explore how a journey can shape who you are and who you will become. Let's take a closer look at how students build the skills and knowledge necessary to own and drive labs in science. By 12th grade, our girls will collaboratively own the research, design, and analysis process associated with labs. Experiences build from a design-based focus in 9th grade all the way towards full ownership of an open inquiry lab in 12th grade. A student designing her culminating lab in 12th grade might choose to investigate the effect of nitrate levels on photosynthetic rates in lake water.
Similarly, we build student ownership through the writing process in CORE. In CORE 1, students focus on developing strong claims in preparation for a debate on upstanders versus bystanders after reading To Kill a Mockingbird. Notice how the focus progresses from developing strong claims all the way to articulating defensible assertions in senior year. By then, our students are prepared to research, articulate, and defend their capstone projects. This capstone project, the capstone project is one way Ignite seniors apply their learning in order to impact the greater community. Because each girl dedicates an entire year to planning and executing her capstone project, it must be personally meaningful. For example, one student may choose to address high unemployment rates in Gary. To better understand the need for new businesses in Gary, she may work closely with her statistics teacher to study the correlations between dropout rates and the rate of unemployment in Midwestern cities. Additionally, our LEAPS course, or Core 4, is specifically designed to teach ethical leadership and public speaking skills to further develop her ability to articulate and defend her business plan. With the help of a community partner, Junior Achievement, our student will get support from a mentor to shape and implement her business model. Ultimately, the capstone project is a way to give our girls the opportunity to meaningfully explore their interests and engage in the work of shaping the world around them.
Let's see the curriculum come to life in a student's schedule. After breakfast, our student will meditate and reflect during morning meeting. After that, they will engage in a historical analysis of To Kill a Mockingbird in Core 1. Then, in Math 1, they will find the average rate of change of a baseball hit in a Chicago White Sox game. After lunch, students will study acceleration by analyzing sprint times of the U.S. Women's National Team in physics class. At the end of the day, our student will attend Latin 1, PE, and advisory before heading to reading intervention. During Beyond the Core, our student will attend Girls on the Run, a club promoting health and wellness.
Through Beyond the Core, Ignite students will engage in after-school activities beginning in grade 9 that are designed to connect them to their community, build leadership skills, discover new ideas, and develop deep personal interests. To do so, Ignite will forge lasting partnerships with local, regional, and national organizations to provide students with engaging extracurricular programming, including Black Girls Code, Girls on the Run, and Junior Achievement.
Ignite would also honor our most important partner in our work, our parents, through many opportunities to become involved with the school. Along with fundraising and volunteer opportunities, we believe in empowering our parents to shape their daughters' education. Our parents will play an active role in our teacher development as they will lead community walks, engage in panels for teachers to learn deeply about the community. Additionally, a parent coordinator position was created to ensure that the parent voice is clearly represented on the leadership team. Our parents are critical in the growth and development of our girls.
Teacher development aligns to the core elements of our school. Teachers will engage in collaborative planning and professional development to best meet the needs of our students. Teachers will collaborate on Wednesday professional developments and in their daily 110-minute planning period. Teachers will reflect together in one huddle and with their coach about their instruction. Teachers will take ownership of their students' performance through data analysis cycles. The 6-week data cycle will include a day-long professional development to analyze student work and plan for future instruction, ensuring all students get what they need. A key part of our professional development will be going out to the community to better understand the context of our girls. We will be a culturally responsive school.
Our academic programming would not be possible without strategic hiring that supports the 4 key levers. For advisory programming, we created the Assistant Principal of Self-Awareness to lead mindfulness training and school culture activities. For transformational curriculum, we hired a Dean of Curriculum and Instruction to oversee the data inquiry process and the interdisciplinary curriculum. For Beyond the Core, we specifically hired a parent coordinator to ensure that parents are engaged and informed throughout the school year. We also hired a community associate to leverage the community partnership. Finally, for teacher development, we believe strongly that the principal is an instructional leader. She will supervise instructional coaches and help teachers engage in reflecting on their instructional practices. We recognize that this may seem top-heavy, but we believe in investing a large portion of capital into our human capital.
By the time they graduate, Ignite students will have the knowledge, skills, and confidence to continue the journey they started with us. Through our advisory programming, transformational curriculum, opportunities to engage beyond the core, and an intentional focus on maximizing key resources, we are confident that our girls will
be safe,
be true to themselves,
graduate high school and college,
be happy, be loved for who they are,
and feel empowered to shape the world around them. Thank you.
I don't have a lot of commentary on content, but I do have some just like specific, like when you're looking at the PowerPoint and visual stuff.
Yeah, great.
If that's cool.
Great.
So the quadrants at the very beginning, how you organize women's studies and your 2 other sort of pillars is a really powerful visual, and I think that changed since last time, so that's great. The images on the quadrants, when they zoom out, don't have the same shadow features, so 2 of them don't have a shadow feature, 1 does. It's like a quick sort of like notice, but if you want it all uniform, I suggest changing it. Line weight on the capstone slides, the line weight looks off. It might just be from back here, but the lines between 1 circle to the 3 circles coming out looks a little bit off. I told you it's very you guys are like,
it's great, it's great.
Also on the capstone slide, the spacing between titles is different as well. So the line spacing. Yeah, if you want to go to it. And then the supporting key levers, it looks from back here that the centering of the principal and the overall rectangle is off, but it could be from where it's sitting. So the principal rectangle in the center is a little
not
bit
really in the
shifted.
center.
Yep.
Actually, also to add on the key staffing slide, very minor, but the bullet points aren't totally centered within the boxes. It can just be a little bit cleaner. I love your font choice. I love your color choice. I think that's going to show up really well. Rachel, nice job slowing down. I know you've been practicing. And then there are a few times that people were turning to look at the screen. Just keep in mind that in Cal the screen is really big, so you're going to have to like So I think that'll be ironed out with some more practice. Just keep that in mind. And then same thing what we told the other group, like show your beautiful smiles. So you guys, it's really hard. Rachel, you of the whole team did the best job. And you guys intermittently smiled, but not everybody smiled at the same time. So continue to think about that.
Question about the screen. Does it look awkward if people are turned and facing the screen?
I actually think that sometimes it's easier. So I was paying specific attention to Brian because of the height difference. And it's really, really difficult to look. First off, also Phil, like, in looking at Phil when Jess was talking, like, both Brian and Phil, like, you guys look like you're giving people a side eye. It's really hard. I know it's even harder for you, Brett, because of the height difference. So, you know what, if you feel like I'm giving the side eye, or you feel like it's really awkward, yeah, like, Brett, turn and look at Rachel like you just did. Right? Like, it's super weird. Like,
I felt weird.
Right. I don't think necessarily looking at the screen as a way to kind of break that up is a bad thing. I think it depends also on like what you guys are comfortable with too.
I felt incredibly uncomfortable like this the whole time.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Should we just have like each side, like all of us are always looking this way, and all of them are always looking this way, regardless of who's talking?
Yeah, I mean, if you, Joy, and Brian, just turn and look at the screen right now, right? I mean, so Phil, Jess, and Ashley, look at what that looks like, right? Does that look like now stand the way that you were, and now Brad, look at Rachel and look at like, yeah. So I think because just the height differential here across, I think, yeah, it probably makes sense.
Jess, are you going to be?
Yeah. So you're going to be at the podium, right? Whoever is the person that is clicking should probably be at the podium.
Yeah.
Right? And then right next to the podium is going to be the mic on the stand. And then all the way over on the other side of the stage is the second microphone right there. So, you know, if you guys are standing there and you're looking towards the screen, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. Okay. Now to go specifically into the presentation, were you done? So a nice transition out of the video. Yesterday it was really, really abrupt. I think that it transitioned out very well. The graphs, great. Can you go back to the presentation? Yeah. Thanks. The beginning, right after the video. Yeah, that's fine. God bless you. So presumably the information, God bless you, in the graphs is both relevant and important information that you want to convey. It's really hard to see. I don't actually know what this is showing at all. Okay, if you go to the next slide, or the next transition, whatever, same thing. Like, obviously there's one that you want us to recognize because it's bolded in red, but I don't know what it is. Okay, next slide. Yeah, that right there. So the Goldman quote, we have all that space there. Right, it's a little bit awkward in terms of the way that it's spaced. So either I think bringing it down exactly and having like a cleaner border. This slide too. So you have so much space at the bottom. You even have like a decent amount of space at the top, right? Like I think dragging down the citations and maybe making them a little bit bigger so that people can see them. Something along those lines, right? Maybe you want to put in, you know, how you have the little numbers right after the footnotes, right? Maybe you want to have a number after each of the bullets that correlates with the footnotes, if in fact they do, or maybe it's just sort of general information that's coming from a variety of sources. Nice transition between the three rocks, like that slide, into the slide with self-school community world. I think that's really seamless. I think that's really nice, really clean. Ashley, your use of the research data is so much better in terms of the narrative, right? Like, it's very, very clear what you're saying. It's not super narrative heavy. Good return and repetition of the slide with SAT, women's study, goal setting, and community. I think it allows folks to really clearly follow where you are in the presentation. Jess's slide is a little bit too narrative heavy. The slide with the inquiry-based, beyond the core, and then the Latin-based languages. I think that slide is a little bit too narrative heavy. You guys did a great job with breaking out what it looks like from 9 to 12, and really including those steps. I think is terrific. The capstone is much clearer. This is going to be a tough one. There's a slide where one of the things that pops up in relationship to teachers says own. Like that's the title, own. Can we go to that?
Yeah.
It's like after all of this.
Here?
Yeah. Can we pull those bullets down, those 2 bullets down, and can we center those within the box? And also the distance between the end of the arrow with engage, can we make it the same for own?
Also, the arrow on reflect is falling higher than the one on own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well done, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.